Hi, I'm Cheryl, and today we're going to be making another lovey-dovey card. Is this one, and let's get the glare off of there. I'm going to be using the aluminum foil duct tape that they use in air conditioning to make the paper for this, the belly band, and then we have our flowers and using a little designer paper for the background. So what you'll need is a piece of soft sky, and this is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored and folded at 4 1/4. A piece of Blushing Bride cardstock, and this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I have a piece of the polka dot designer paper, and this is from the Falling in Love designer series paper set. See, it's got all those beautiful polka dots. And we'll need some Whisper White. You can use some scrap paper if you have it, but you'll need at least like a piece about 7 by 2 inches. Oh, and there's my belly band. I already cut that out so that you didn't have to watch me run it through my die cut machine and sit here and poke out all these little pieces. Now there's a product where you roll. It's got like a bristle brush, and you lay your piece down on a foam and you roll. And I tried that, and I'm not thrilled with it. Oh, I see a piece I missed. Because there is a tendency to leave marks on your foil paper. Okay, that's fine for cardstock. It's great for cardstock, actually, because it really cuts your time down you spend. But for the foil paper, you're just going to have to suck it up and use your pokey tool and poke out all the little pieces. So get yourself a bowl or something and go watch your favorite TV show and poke all those little pieces out. And we're using the So in Love bundle. We'll be using this piece here. We're using the So in Love stamp, and With You will go on the inside of the card, which I didn't show you. On the inside we have the With You sentiment, and then I used a little foil doily to back that. So we'll need some foil doilies. And then we're using the die cut that's from the So in Love bundle also. And then we're also using, let me get this put away because I won't need that because I've already done this. And we're using the Flower Shop stamps, and we're using this flower down the bottom here. That will be the one we're using today. So you'll need a piece of aluminum foil tape, about 6 inches long, and then a piece of just lightweight paper. And it can be any paper because we're not going to see it. I'm using the back of a coupon. So you could use that too. And our Pansy Punch. If you don't have the Pansy Punch, you can always fussy cut your flowers out. It's just handy to have the punch. It just takes a little less time. The inks we'll be using are Tip Top Taupe, Soft Sky, and Blushing Bride. We're going to need a bone folder or a Sharpie pen to smooth down our aluminum tape here. And we're using some markers. Or I'm using some markers. If you don't have the markers, I highly recommend these blender pens because they can be used just like a marker. You just squeeze a little, you've seen it I'm sure in some of the videos, you squeeze your stamp pad like so, and you get yourself a puddle of ink in the lid, and you can just pick that up with a blender pen and use it. It's a real money saver if you don't want to get the markers, because to get a full set of the markers can be quite an investment. I got them because, well, I like markers. But we're using Flirty Flamingo, Blushing Bride, and Tip Top Taupe markers. We'll need Snail and Tombow glue, and that's about it. Let me cover this up. These pokey tools are quite pokey. You want to make sure when you get a pokey tool, make sure you keep this little rubber thing so you can cover that pokey end up. Oh, and we're going to need a couple little pieces of masking tape. When I did the original card, I used this full stamp with So in Love. And let me get that up there so you can really see this. It's got these little flourishes on the top and the bottom, and I want to say they just barely fit in that outline shape, but they don't. They overlap it a little bit. I didn't like that, so I'm going to mask off these little design areas, and so it'll just say So in Love and have no extra decoration inside that little thing there. So let's do some stamping. We'll bring our pieces of white in. Another thing on my original, I stamped those flowers in with Memento black ink, and I thought it was kind of harsh. So I tried it with the Tip Top Taupe. We're stamping our flower from the flower shop, and we're using Tip Top Taupe ink. And I liked that look much better. So on our card today, we're going to use that. Now I cut my piece of paper in half, and I'm going to stamp a flower on the end of each one of these. The reason I did that is because I'm using my punch, and it'll make it easier when I go to slide it in and punch it out. If you're going to fussy cut yours, well, then you don't have to worry about that at all. Alright, so let's stamp our design piece here too. It's kind of I don't know what to call this shape. It reminds me of like a Christmas ornament. So we'll call it that for now. Put our Tip Top Taupe aside. We'll get our Blushing Bride out. And stamp that. I'm going to stamp that on the other end here with my papers. Okay. And I did get a little whoops around the edge. That's okay. We're going to cut that out. That'll be cut off. No one will ever see that unless they go picking through your trash. And they've got no business doing that. Okay. And then we have our soft sky? Yes, soft sky. And oh, I should have gotten a little smaller block out. Let me grab one real quick. There we go. The size of your blocks can make a difference in your stamping. Okay, so now I have the So in Love with You stamp for the front. And what I'm going to do is I'll take my little pieces of masking tape, and I'm going to cover up just the little embellishment decoration on the top and the bottom here. Okay, then I'll ink that up. Got that inked good. I'll pull my tape off. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Let me ink that again, just to make sure that I didn't touch anything. Okay, so I'll pull that off. And now if you wanted to, you could probably wipe it off, but I didn't quite trust myself to do that. So we're going to line that up. I hope my top of my head's not in the video. And there we go. So that's nice. I think that's much nicer than in the the original card. So we'll get the one for the inside here, the With You stamp. We'll ink that up, and we'll stamp that one. And there we go. Now our stamping's finished. I'm going to take my markers. Well, let me show you how to do the aluminum paper first. Okay, so I have my thin piece of white paper, or thin piece of paper, any kind of paper. And we just peel the backing off here. Just like this. I'm going to stick a center down here first. And smooth it out. And be careful of the edges because they can be sharp. And you'll give yourself a heck of a paper cut if you don't mind that they are sharp. And I can use my bone folder. Or if you don't have a bone folder, the Sharpie marker works great too. Just smooth that down real well. And then we'll cut the belly band out of this just like using regular paper. Just the same as you would cutting cardstock. And like I said, I already have that done. I have my piece finished already. Okay, we'll bring this back in. And I'm going to take my Blushing Bride marker, and I'll use the pointy tip, the painter tip. That's the one that has the wider band on it. And I'm just going to fill in all of the petals. And when this dries, it's going to be lighter. So get them all filled in. Trying to move a little quicker here. Maybe I'll go outside the lines a little. I don't really care. And if you're going to fussy cut, then definitely you shouldn't care because you can cut right on the outside line of the flower. And nobody will ever know if you went outside the lines or not. Okay, so the petals are all filled in. Excuse me. Same tip with the Flirty Flamingo, and just everywhere they've given you little shaded areas. See, all these little areas, that's where I'm going to be using the Flirty Flamingo. Just stroke that in real fast. And the other one. Just everywhere that they've given you those little lines to show shading. My throat is dry. Okay, and I take the Tip Top Taupe, and again the one with the band, wide band, I'm going to use that on the center. Okay, so that's done. We're ready to punch these out. And there is there is a certain way that these go in. So you have to move it around till you get the proper line up here. Well, let's see. Okay, I think I got it. Nope, that's not it. Boy, I'm really having a problem finding it. If I were really clever, I would mark... You know what? I'm going to cut the end off here because I have a funny feeling I need to turn it all the way around. If I were really clever, I would mark my stamp and the punch as to which way they line up. Now I'm going to have to fiddle around like this. Maybe I'll... Oh, there it is, right there. Finally. Okay, so now I know which way it goes. That's... Yep, I'm going to have to cut this one too. This one will go much faster, I promise. And there we go. There. So we have our flowers punched out. Then I'm going to fussy cut these out. And I went just on the edge of that shape that I don't know what to call it. The Christmas ornament shape. I'm trying to go real fast here, so it's not the best fussy cutting in the whole world. But I'm sure this is pretty boring to watch. Remember, when you fussy cut, you want to turn your paper, and you'll get a much nicer cut that way. And instead of going like this with your scissors, you want to go one smooth, long cut whenever possible. Alright, so now we can start putting our card together. We're going to put our belly band on first, and then it's going to go just a little bit down. It's going to be a little off center. Let's see, it's down about, for people who like to measure things, it's going to be about 1.5 inches from the top. The top of the belly band, 1.5 inches down. I'm going to line that up. I'm going to turn this over. And I need my snail. I'm going to put a nice little line of snail there. And let's see if I've got it straight. Okay, there we go. Ooh. It doesn't look straight from the back, but okay, there we go. And we just fold the edges over, stick them down in the snail. And there we've got that attached. We're going to snail, and we're going to snail over the folded over pieces of the belly band, and that way they will be attached on the top side and the bottom side of them. And we're going to put that down on our blushing bride. And you'll have about 1/8 of an inch showing all the way around. Just stick that down. Now if you wanted to, you could pop this up. You could pop the designer paper up, although it's better to pop up your cardstock if you're going to pop up anything, because the designer paper is paper, it's not cardstock, and it is a little bit thinner, and it does tend to smush when you pop designer paper up. But I'm just going to do mine flat. And put that down. You'll have about a 1/4 of an inch showing all the way around. Okay, our So In Love. I'm going to use my Tombow for that. And put that right in this center medallion here. Well, I guess that's what I could call it a medallion maybe. Okay. And let's get one of these little doilies out here. And we'll use our Tombow on this one. This is for the inside, and that's the one that we stamped with you. And we'll center that on our doily. And we have our flowers. And we're just going to shape them just a little bit. I wasn't going for a lot of dimension in this card, so just fold them up a little bit. Put a little bit of our Tombow on the back. We'll position one up here. And one down here. So that they're kind of lined up on a diagonal. Okay. And then we can put our inside piece on the inside. Put a little Tombow glue on there. And we'll want that centered side to side, and then sort of towards the top. Now if you wanted to, you could additionally stamp a happy anniversary or happy Valentine's Day, or you could just leave it like this as just a general everyday lovey-dovey card. And there's our finished card. There was the original. You see what a difference using the Tip Top Taupe and those flowers made? I like the Tip Top Taupe much better. So if you liked my video, then be sure to hit the like button down below. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel and see more of my videos, then hit the subscribe button. If you want to shop with me, you can do that either through my Facebook page or my website. So y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.